Welcome to We Care a Lot. I'm half the pod, Sam.
I'm the other half, Mel.
Hey guys, if you are a diehard loyal fan of ours, listener, we were gone for a week and we do apologize. But
are we that sorry?
It's like I did miss it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. Same.
I did miss it, but we had to do what we had to do. Life happens. Life is crazy. You guys know Mel got a house. Lots of renovations.
To quickly run it down, that same day I moved into my new house, got into an accident. I was basically like almost T-boned. And you're like, how are you almost T-boned? Let me tell you, this woman was making a U-turn and basically hit my, like, the driver's side wheel. So, like, almost T-boned. Not necessarily exactly in the middle of the car.
Yeah.
But my door wouldn't open anymore. And that was really scary. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that happened. I've just, after that, been trying to, like, catch up with, like, A, the house, B, getting my shit together and feeling emotionally stable again.
People visiting.
Lots of people visiting. Family constantly over. It was also Sam's birthday.
It was my birthday the week we
And
had
I feel
off.
like when we were doing GGC and stuff, I feel like we definitely always decided to take a week, the week
for
of
our birthday, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, it made sense.
It somehow worked out.
It worked out the way it was
supposed to all be.
But anyway, we're back, and I think we both feel very invigorated and excited to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good time, I think, right now.
Yes. So today we're talking about being 26, because now that I'm officially 26, we can talk about it. And I've been 26 for a whole week? Not even a week yet.
Not yet.
Like 5 days.
Tomorrow. No. Your birthday was on Thursday.
Yeah. Got some time, but...
So 2 days.
No, whatever. My prefrontal cortex is developed, regardless.
Yikes.
Which I'm like, oh, I wanted to have a little more cooking time, but okay.
With that said, do you feel like you had this little, like, click moment in your brain?
I feel like I've been sad lately. Like, this is I was telling you. Number one, let's talk about how sweet my friends are and amazing they are. They threw me a surprise kickback. Okay, tears, crying. You guys all deserve friends like that.
I gotta say, we really pulled that through. And especially, like, thanks to Tori. Like, she is nuts. But
she is nuts.
She literally had COVID, like, that entire week. And then somehow, miraculously, I feel like, you know, the universe was like, let's get partying, because she tested negative that same day. And then she called me and Katie, and she was like, hey.
Like, she group called the both of you on the random?
No, individually. She called me first,
dang.
and she's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Are you guys not busy? And I was like, no, I'm not. Like,
no.
And I was like, why? What's up? She's like, well, I was thinking, like, you guys inspired me. Like, I listened to your podcast about being, like, spontaneous. And so I'm going to try to do something spontaneous. And she's like, I'm going to throw a kickback for Sam. So we all got to, like, do this together. And we were like, then from then on, I was like, okay, call Katie and ask her if she's available.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, let me check the text message to see if Sam's available. And, like, I went back to see, like,
what I'm doing Friday.
Yeah, or, like, all of your days. And I was like, okay, she said the evening she'll be free, so I'm assuming the night is free. I'm just gonna
almost went on a date. I almost planned a date. I mean, I'd been like, my friends are surprising me. I'm so sorry. I had this out of my control.
But, yeah, it was just nuts. And then we were like, let's bring this, and you get this. And I was like, I gotta pick, you want me to pick her up? Okay, what should I say? Like,
she just voice freaking messages me, you're not busy tonight, and now you are, so be ready at 9. And I was like,
what? She's like, what do I wear? What's the vibe? And I was like,
know.
bitch, this bitch thinks I'm gonna, like, take her out to a club or something. It's not gonna happen.
Let's see. My first thought was, like, maybe we're going to a concert. We did go to a concert, like, last year. And I was thinking, like, literally someone we'd never heard of, and we're just doing it for the plot, you know?
I was gonna do that. Like, actually, I just, like, couldn't find anybody
worthwhile.
I was like,
yeah.
We'll still do that, though.
No, it's...
The concert was very fun last year. It was very...
We have to go to concerts in general.
I know, dude.
Like, this isn't invigorating the... Like, why are we not doing more shit? Why are we getting, like, caught in the freaking gears of life?
And literally the hamster wheel. Like, y'all
why
just
are we
running
not doing
for what?
things? Why are we not planning little kickbacks, little hangouts?
Like, after... I'm not even joking. Like, we had such a good time.
So much fun.
Every individual there. There's only, like, 6 of us,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I can't do
Yeah,
math.
6 of us. It was very small, but I feel like we all can entertain ourselves enough that like it was just a vibe.
Yeah.
And we left that little kickback that we made saying like we should do this more often, to the point where Tori wants to have one every month. So
literally
here we are. But it's just fun to have those like it did have that high school feel of like let's all just like hang out.
And it was like a cold backyard.
Yeah.
There's a beer pong table set up. It's like
Just one.
we
I mean, it's
could
only
have
us,
had
but-
2 games going, but
True, but it was just a good time. I highly recommend that you guys just do something out of the norm like that, because it's a good time for sure.
I agree. So that was really exciting, really nice. Like, so I was telling her at that, kickback that I was just like, this is the first birthday I felt like sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't like crying or anything. Like, it wasn't
It's just like a
it just felt like, oh, this is
Yeah.
it, isn't it? This is life, which like so sad, but like not in a way where I was like no one loves me or like it doesn't feel special, like not that.
there's nothing like real like
No.
about it. It's just like a fuck, I'm here now.
Yeah, and I've never felt that. I've always been like, it's my motherfucking birthday, bitches. Like,
Yeah.
this is about me. Like, let's run it. And like this year, I was just like, whatever. Like, we don't have to do anything. I really don't care. But obviously, like, doing something is obviously the best thing
Fun.
ever and amazing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like butthurt over the fact that like there wasn't like, but like I did things. Like my mom had cake and my family came over and like I celebrated. I've been celebrating all month still, even though
Yeah.
it's like I'm still sad about it, but I'm not like, it's not different. Nothing's really any different. It's just maybe the age. I don't know.
I think 26 is really hard, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's
What is that?
And that's why I said, like, did something, like, click in your brain? Because I'm not saying necessarily, like, it's a good click. It's just, like, it really does
realization
feel
of
like
sorts.
something's done cooking. Like,
Yeah.
and you're kind of like, oh, that's it? You know what I mean?
It's
it's
it
weird.
almost like you came to the end of a journey and you were like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, and I, like, constantly tell people that, like, I feel like now it's, like, this, like, thing of, like, you are kind of an adult, but you're still, like, I might feel a little bit like 23, so why the fuck am I 26?
Oh, 17.
Literally.
We're literally 17.
I just watched
I don't
this
care what anyone says.
movie yesterday called Wine Country.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Oh, so good.
I remember, like, I think I jumped into the movie, like, when they're, like, rolling down the hill, like, a long time ago, because once it happened, I was like, oh my god, I think I've seen this movie.
Uh-huh.
But I don't remember the entire beginning. But anyway, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, they're
Yeah.
always doing movies together.
Hilarious.
But, oh my god, where was I going with this? One second. One of, like, they started saying, like, what's your soul age? Like, that vibe.
Oh.
And she was like, I feel like I'm like 12. And she's like, actually, she's like, no. I like enough where you like can drink,
You can have sex.
you can like bone. She's like, maybe like 18 and a half. And I was
Oh.
like, that's like, literally, why do we all like, I don't know all of us because that's not necessarily true, but I
Yeah.
feel like, not that I'm like mentally there still,
I'm
but
not
I just like
as dumb as I was at that age.
Exactly. I learned a lot, but like I'm like still in the soul of like,
Your spirit is that age, yeah.
why am I 26?
Why am I a 17-year-old trapped in a 26-year-old's body?
Literally 17 again. Ugh.
Oh my god, that movie just hits different
It
now.
hits different.
It hits so... You're like, wow. To be 17 again.
17 again.
But also, like, I was actually talking about this with my cousin because I went to the beach on my birthday with her. Shout out to Danny. And
We invited her and then she was like, I'm actually on a plane going home. And I was like, oh fuck.
you said, fuck, you're already leaving. Aw, cutie. I wonder if I text her and she was like being good and secretive about it. I don't know. Anyways, we were talking about like being 17 again and what we would do. And I think she said something along the lines of like, she wouldn't necessarily do anything differently, but like she would do it again. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's just so hard because like if you have today's knowledge when you're 17, you're gonna do things differently. You're not gonna get in the car with that drunk driver. You're not gonna like...
But if like everything played out the same way.
I'd be terrified. I would be in my body screaming, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Don't be doing this.
Like if I could, like that's part of it though, like if I could just like be almost like a passenger seat driver.
Just watching again.
Just
like a
watching
movie.
again.
Like a movie.
Yeah, but like experience, like
in it though.
yeah, like 40, you know
Like,
what I mean?
yeah, 4D Dolby Cinema.
Literally. I would do it. Like, it's just...
There's so many things I remember fondly. Obviously, there's things I don't remember fondly.
For sure.
But
even then, like, that's fondly. You know what I mean? Because you're like, wow, that really made me who I was.
But would you want to relive, like, the bad things, you know? Like, not really.
Like
we'd
me, like,
skip.
fucking crying on the bathroom floor for no reason?
Like, feeling dramatic, feeling depressed,
like,
not knowing who you
17. Why not? I don't know.
But anyways.
I think I would have more of appreciation for, like, being 26, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, oh my god, that was a lot.
But even that, like, I told my cousin, like, we're missing 17 because it was so much fun, but one day we're going to miss being 26.
Oh, for sure.
And 28, 100%. You know, like, we're going to look back and be like, we were so free, we were so young, we were doing this, you were buying a house, or you were dating, you were doing whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, you're never going to have this phase of your life ever again. Which is just, like, nuts.
Yeah. Ugh. Back to 26 being sad. I definitely, like, felt that this year. Also when I turned 26. Back in April.
Has it gone away?
No.
Nice.
I feel like I'm more comfortable with it, but I feel like this is the first year where, like, I'm very conscious of my age, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah, I
mean, 25 was, like, a little hint of that. Like, ooh,
yeah.
Here we go.
Quarter life crisis, for sure.
Yeah.
Even before the actual birthday, like, I had so much, just, like, I was kind of over it before it even happened. And I don't even know why. And then the days...
Yeah, I remember you didn't want to celebrate your birthday either.
No, and then the days... I don't know. I'm not, like... To be fair, I had such a fun time with the things that did happen. But I just feel like everything that also was happening around me at that time was just such a fucking pinnacle of, like, what 26 was like. Like, my friend was moving to, like, literally a different part of the world. I knew, like, that our search for a house was gonna happen. So, like, my apartment life was gone. There's just, like, little things. GGC stopped. You know what I mean? Like, all of that kind of just, like, intertwined into one. And it was like, wow, like, my life as I knew it is completely, like, over.
Changing,
it's like, this world is gone. And I feel like, and also, like, insurance, like, all of these, like, really small but, like, big things started to, like, either start or end. Mostly end.
Yeah. But that means start on the other side. So.
Yeah, but it was just a lot. It was, like, too much. It
was
just too much.
Maybe that's what it is. Like, when you're this age, you're just going through so many different changes that it's overwhelming, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're just realizing, like, adulthood just, like, hits all at once. Whether it's, you know, actual adult things happening or just you feel the weight and pressure of being an adult. Like, oh, like, yep, paying rent, yep, cars, yep, insurance.
Yeah.
Like, everything's all of a sudden, like, what am I going to do for the rest? Like, it hits you like, how am I going to sustain myself for the rest of my life?
Totally.
At 20, like, I think that's the, like, key there.
Kicker,
like, so you're doing this today. How are you going to get through the rest of your life with this amount of money or this car or this apartment, house, whatever, this partner? Like, you know, you start asking yourself very real questions of, am I happy with my life? What can I change? How can I make it better? Those are really hard questions to ask.
Yeah.
Who am I? We're always asking who am I.
I feel like also, like, mathematically,
okay,
you're like 4 years away from...
You're closer to 30.
Two big numbers, though. Like, you're away, the closer to 30, but also 4 away from being 21. Like...
22, but like...
Yeah. Like, 21, 22. I feel like that age was just, like, feeling 22.
Oh, my...
Anyway... Like, that age was, like, so... It was innocent, but you're still, like, grown. I don't know if that makes sense. So, like, I feel like you just end up being... I don't know. Like, it's just, like, they're very polar opposites of, like, how you're gonna feel. And you're stuck right in the fucking smack middle. I will say, now that I'm, like, reflecting, I was like, what was Logan like last year? Like, before her birthday? I hope she's probably gonna, like, listen to this. Don't take this personal, babe. But, like, I do feel like she was sad a lot of the time. And, of course, a lot of things did happen in the fucking age of 26 that were life-changing. But I think, like, overall, like, the weight of life, like, felt very heavy to her. And, like, you could feel it in her, like, energy.
And not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way, but it just is. It just is what it was, and I feel like now I'm like, oh.
And she has to deal with both of us being that energy now.
Hi.
So love you. Yeah. I think it's probably just a really common shared experience to be going through it at 26. And some people maybe are thriving. Maybe some people are like, I have it all figured. Like, maybe. Please don't ever say you have it all figured out, because whatever. Fuck you if you do.
Like, I can't believe we're 26.
Yeah.
Like when we would meet people when we were 20, 21, and they're like, oh my God, yeah, I'm 26, I'm 27. I was like, oh, you're so like mature and old. Not like old like that, but like you're older. Like,
yeah. Like you've been through some things, haven't you?
You've been through some things, and you're like probably like really set.
Really set. They would laugh too, though.
They would probably laugh too.
If we were to say that at the time.
Like, zooming out, I'm like, oh my God, I'm that age now. Other little 20-year-olds and 21-year-olds are looking at me like I got things going on.
It's not figured out. Just letting you know. Disclaimer: my Instagram is a lie. Just kidding. Pretty honest on Instagram, but it's like, just why do we have to have this like moment where we realize things, like, because we could be better people for it?
Why can't I just live in fucking Barbie land, bro?
Take me to Barbie land.
Take me to Barbie land. I gotta get out of here.
Airlift me. Honestly, I can't. Barbie land?
That movie just like hit
girlhood.
So
girlhood.
Hard.
You know what?
We'll save it.
Okay.
But anyway, that movie, like, just with this theme of being 26 and like knowing that you're getting to a certain age, I think it hit really hard, because it's like,
okay, like this the moment where she's sitting on the bus bench,
sobbing.
I could cry. Like, it brought tears on. Like, how are you just gonna look at an old lady like that? Why am I crying about it? It was such a simple scene.
You know that scene was gonna be cut out? Oh my God, I'm like about to cry.
Literally.
That scene was gonna be cut out. Like, the producers didn't feel like it was needed. Necessary. And then Greta Gerwig was like, you're literally taking the heart out of the movie if you're taking this away. Like,
because then it
that
relates
whole
to
scene,
there's so many layers.
That whole scene was like her literally taking in the world for what it was. Every single like little moment, like the couple fighting, the trees, like the birds, people laughing, kids playing, like all of it is so real. And then she looks to this woman who's aged and the complete opposite of what we would think a Barbie is, who's like this young, like perfect and
just an
beautiful woman. Yeah, and then she looks at her and like, you're so beautiful.
I'm laughing because what she says back.
I know.
Period, and queen. She's like, nice. Like, she knows.
She just laughs at her because she's just like, of course. You don't need to be this. Yeah,
you don't need to be stereotypical Barbie.
Love Margot Robbie.
The movie was so good. Anyways, yeah, I think maybe there's also some layers of that, like of feeling like I don't look the way I should at 26. Like, oh my God, at 17 I had the tightest little freaking everything, and now I don't. And
the way
I'm the youngest I'm ever gonna be. Why don't I look better? You
literally
know?
Though, I literally have that thought. I had this thought,
which is awful.
Literally this morning, I was like, I have not worked out in a year. Like, actually worked out in a year.
Yeah. You went on a hike yesterday.
I mean, I've done like small things. Like, I obviously go on walks every day. I fucking
you just don't feel like you have a routine.
But I don't have like this like I remember when I was like 21, I would literally work out at the gym or I would work out at home, and I would have this like strict thing for myself. And now it's just like, girl, you haven't done that in like over a year. And I constantly say, like, I could feel my body aging. Like, in the way that I'm like, my muscles feel like tight. Like, I need to stretch. I need to do all these things, and I don't do them.
Yeah.
And I think it's in fear that, like, because it's so scary in my head that it like overwhelms me. I don't know how to explain it.
That like you're not going to be good enough just starting again.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to be so non-flexible that I'm fucked.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Like, literally. So Saturday, Katie took me to Boiler Room. Right. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it. It's like a DJ mini concert festival thing, because there's like 2 stages. Anyways, it was really funny. You guys should go. And we were dancing all night, like nonstop, like walking from stage to stage, just fucking dancing, like sweating our asses off. It was amazing. And then we're walking back to the car and we're just like dead. We're so tired. Our legs are tired. And then we realize like, oh fuck, we didn't eat lunch or dinner today. We've been drinking, sweating, working out essentially, ears on crazy. Like, what are we doing? We're too old to be that. Like, we met some man. He was like, let me show you how he danced. For all the non-visual people, I'm sorry, but I'm going to show her how he danced.
Oh.
Yes. And then, like, so he came up, well, long story short, creeps came up to us, and we were, like, obviously visibly uncomfortable with them. And one guy looked like Hosier, and it was his brother. Ended up being the guy that came up to us. It was his brother. Oh, my God. It was such a moment, but they were like, are you okay? And we're like, yeah, it's fine, like, whatever. But anyways, he's like, oh, I really like your dance moves to Katie. And then we made jokes about how much it costs, whatever. Anyways, he has earplugs. And I was like, oh, you have earplugs? And he's like, you guys don't? Like, no. And he's like, y'all are noobs. Like, you need to get some earplugs. Like, I'm worried about your ears.
No, actually, though.
What are we doing?
At the Taylor concert, it was way too loud. Like, to the point where I was like, oh my God.
You said fearless.
Like, that really hurt. So, get yourself some earplugs.
Yeah,
like, you can still hear the concert.
Oh, for sure.
But it was just way too loud. Like, some kid, like, was sitting, like, across me with the headphones on. And I was like, give me those.
You don't need them.
Fucking hand them.
Your ears are young and strong.
Deal with it.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Your body is literally like beginning to age. This is the beginning of aging, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it was just so nice to not ever really worry. We kind of take our health for granted a little, like.
For sure. No, and that's like the problem with thinking that you're still like 23 or 17, because then you're like, the body's not doing the same things.
Yeah, it's not. Even being 26 and being as healthy as we are at 26, you know what I mean? Like, even taking that for granted, like, I can go out, I can walk to places, I can fucking dance if I wanted to, I can do Pilates, and it's like all these things that I have the ability to do, but I'm like, oh, I'm too lazy to actually like commit to doing it, or like whatever.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't like being closer to 30, but also like everyone's saying that 30 is like
the new,
but 30s are like the best years of your life.
I feel like that's true.
I know.
Ever since I saw 13 going on 30, I like couldn't wait to be 30.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely going to be, because you finally, hopefully, know what you want in life in the grand scheme of it all.
I know a couple 30-year-olds, though, and I'm like, I don't know if y'all feel like the thing that I want to feel. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think maybe we're just like a little more intentional about it, maybe. Maybe we're like...
Maybe.
I don't know.
I hope I will be. But I think at least a lot of these, like, maybe like those pressures though of like what we feel as like aging 26-year-olds or like aging 20s.
Yeah.
Will just like fade away because you're just like, I'm no longer in that area anymore. Now it's like, I'm 30, you take what I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably still those pressures of like, why aren't you married with a family and a house and like all those specific...
We're in the year 2023.
The way you mumbled. Go shut like, just so you forget. But, I mean, I'm sure those pressures still are like underlying to whatever degree of like, you don't have your career set. You're not like... really just fucking getting after it, or you're not happy, or you don't have money, you don't have everything, you don't drive a nicest car. Oh, so bad. Maybe that is what I'm thinking about when I'm like not sad, but like, oh, it's 26, like that's crazy. I don't know. I think it is like that age where you're just overwhelmed, and hopefully 27 is like the year where you find some clarity, or like, you know, the year of 26 is you seeking that clarity, right? For sure. And that's why the feelings are brought on. Yeah. And hopefully 27 brings you closer to that clarity. God willing.
I'm hoping that like 26 is the hard year. Not even hard. It's just like the lessons learned
it's
year.
The like you're really putting in the work.
Right. 26 is that, and then you get to 27, you know, you clean up the rest of what you got to do there.
Loose ends.
Tie up the loose ends, fucking polish some shit. And then you can really just enjoy the last 2 years of your 20s and be like, this was fucking great.
Yeah.
You know? That's what I'm hoping for.
And also, like, maybe, like, a good reminder is that, like, what I'm doing at 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, whatever, I'm not going to have to do it for the rest of my fucking life. I don't have to do anything forever, you know? Like, even if I'm like, I actually really enjoy this job, I love it, and then next year I'm like, I actually fucking hate this job, I hate it. Okay, that's fine.
Move forward.
Moving forward to something else. And, like, I don't know if it's, like, something we should know when we're younger, or if it's just part of life of figuring that out as you get older. But, like, I always thought once you get a job, you just stay in it forever. Like, once you pick a path, it's your path forever. Which, like, not in a bad way, but that's what my family has done. Like, they find their career, they find that path, and they work really hard at it, and they grow, and then they become a leader in whatever their field is. So I always felt like that was the traditional path that you had to take. But I'm like, like, sometimes, what did I see? I saw a TikTok, and it was something about, like, life isn't about how much money you make or making a lot of money. Like, life is literally about living and experiencing things and going places.
For sure, dude.
Whatever.
For sure.
So I'm like,
I feel like that's why, like, I really read a long time ago, I feel like there's this video that I really resonated with where she was like, why does everyone keep asking me what I want to do in life? Like,
I want to live it.
She's like, or like, what do I want to do for work? She's like, I don't want to work.
Yeah.
Why should I want to work? Like, why can't I just live my life and
make the money I need to sustain
exactly
that. Yeah.
I feel like it's because we live in such a, like, world that is really based on buying and excess and, like, proving to each other, like, literally, like, fucking fluffing our feathers and being like, I make this money.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, who gives a shit? Like, but are you happy? Probably not.
A majority of the people I know that will flex, like, oh, well, my sister does this, or my mom does that, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, do they really like their job? No, they actually really hate it and they want to quit. And I'm like, okay, so you get to reap the benefits of their money, but they hate their life. Yeah, like, I don't want to hate my life.
I also, like, I think intentionally, like, there's a lot of conversation with, like, having children, but, like, I don't want to have kids. Like, if I, like, part of me is like, I want to have things, like, really, like, settled and, like, have a good job that I can pay for. But yeah, for sure, you know, 100%.
Yeah.
And then there's also the part of me is like, I don't want them to grow up knowing that I hate something that I do. Like, I don't want them to get that impression that you have to stick around and live a life unfulfilled. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And, like, stability is so important for kids in general. Like, I'm thinking how my parents stuck to, like, pretty much the same kind of paths, and I never felt unstable because of that.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing for a kid. I'm like, but also me saying, like, oh, maybe that's not, like, I didn't know that as a kid, that you can have an unstable life, essentially.
Yeah.
And, like, have a passion or whatever. Like, I don't think there's, like, a better or worse way of going about it. It just would have been a different experience if one of my parents or both of my parents were, like, jumping from passion to passion, or, you know, freelancing, whatever. Which, like, I guess my dad was doing that when I was little, so maybe my older siblings got a glimpse of that.
Yeah. Like, I think about, like, I don't know if it's Tom Holland, but I think his dad's, like, a comedian.
Yes! Did you listen to that?
Yeah, I did. And
I did. Jay Shetty.
What does his mom do?
His mom...
Isn't she, like, an artist or something?
I thought she was a teacher.
Maybe she is a teacher.
I think she was a teacher.
Something like that. But it was just, like, having parents who, like, their job is more than just their job. You know what I mean? Like, it's
like his dad making the time to, like, be with his kids.
It's such a crazy concept.
For both of them.
Like, I also think about, like, people who grew up where their parents are, like, artists and, like, musicians, and they probably did struggle, but, like, there's so much there that I feel like is gained. I mean, for sure in other ways too. Like,
yeah,
I never necessarily, like, needed anything, like, from I didn't have, I guess.
Yeah. Like you had your essentials and more.
But I feel like I also grew up with like my parents just like working the jobs that they needed to work and like staying in that way, you know? I don't know. It's just interesting. It's a really,
but like I guess even now, like if our parents without children now, like, you know, in the house or whatever, it's like you have the freedom a little more to do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Which is also crazy. I don't know.
Anyway, that was kind of like a tangent, but
aging.
What is your greatest achievement or like your proudest moment of your 25th year of life?
Oh my god, of 25?
Or it could just be like up to 25. Okay. Whatever you want.
I'm like such a blur. I'm like, was that 24? Was that 25?
I'm like, was I drunk for all of 25?
Like, honestly, where was I? I don't know if it's like one thing in specific or more than just like an attitude or like, I don't know, just like deciding things that were right for me and like sticking to it and just like being okay with the fact that life is changing and that life is going to be a little bit hard, but it's okay. Like you can stay positive. You can still move forward. Proudest thing like of a specific event or moment. I don't really know if 25 wasn't it. Let
me just start there.
Let me just say right now, I don't think it was within the year of 25. I don't know. I do think I'm just proud of the person I'm becoming. Like, I feel like I put a lot of love into the people that love me, and like my niece and nephew are getting older, and it's just so nice to see that like I'm a part of their lives and family's important to me. Like, I don't know, I just feel like I really took the time. Like 25 had so many big events for my family. Like my sister got married, which included like 8 events aside from just the wedding. Big retirement parties, you know, there's just like a lot of stuff that brought me back to family and how much I love them. And friendship also, like we did so many fun things. So yeah, what about you?
You're right, 25 was not it, but it also was it, because I feel like there was a lot of like growth. I feel like I really challenged myself in a lot of ways, and I was trying to think of like what ways in specific. I just feel like I really challenged myself like emotionally, like pushed myself to do things that I didn't think I could do. Like I took on jobs that I didn't think I could do, but I somehow did them. I was constantly like aware of, I was thinking about it the other day, like I've always been confrontational. But I feel like before I was confrontational with no purpose, like
just to be
not necessarily not just to be confrontational, but I wasn't like,
you have a goal in mind, maybe
not even that. Like I wasn't intentional with like how I wanted to come off, the things that I wanted to say, versus like just like exploding my emotions onto people.
Got it.
And I feel like this, like the year of 25, I really like stood back to understand
like why you feel the way.
Yeah, like, and like how I want to come off, and like I feel like it's always like out of love, and I always want to better like my relationships with people and like never have resentments or have anything bad to ever say about anybody. And like I think that that's what more so like I learned. I do think that was like a progress of not just like 25, but like I think 25 became like the pinnacle moment of me understanding how to face like problems with other people head on, I guess. And I'm not like 100% like good at it, because I feel like now I've kind of taken like a path of like, are you being too like non-confrontational? Because I'm afraid of like hurting people's feelings, but I feel like that's better than hurting people's feelings. So anyway, that's part of like what I've like learned in that realm of like emotional awareness. I feel like I've really gained a lot. I don't know, I feel like
a lot of like behind the scenes work.
Yeah I feel like I've kind of like said to myself when I turned 25, like I don't want to go through another year and not feel different. You know?
Yeah. I don't want to not see growth in this like year.
22, 23 was also a weird age, but 22, 23, and 24, I kind of all like blurred, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then 25 was difficult. 26 is feeling hard.
Crazy.
But I can only like see how that's going to track later. And that's really cool to watch. I don't know. Yeah. Achievement,
I think that's the achievement. The achievement is growth.
I don't have like a pinnacle, like
I don't have like I got this promotion, this job, this
nothing like that. Because like
still
working on things over here.
We're figuring it out, okay?
But yeah,
I did see a TikTok or Reels. I think it was a Reels, and this girl was like, I just turned 26, or I'm 26 and I'm not where I thought I was going to be. I don't have the job I wanted. I don't have the car I want to drive. I don't have a partner that I love. I don't have a home. I don't have anything. Like, I don't have any of this stuff, and that's okay. Like, it's literally okay.
Yeah.
And then it's just so validating when other people admit that. Like, I think we have such a fear to admit
that we're not
where we want to be.
For sure.
But like, acknowledging that is so much better than being like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's like I told you. It's
also,
like,
who are we trying to pretend to?
Yeah.
Each other who don't have anything figured. Like, even if you do have one part of your life figured out, I'm sure there's another piece that you're like.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's held me back in like terms of dating a lot, is like I'm not where I want to be. So I feel like this year was amazing for like personal growth and like me really dedicating 25 to me and working on myself.
Yeah.
And I really didn't give all that much energy to anyone but myself in terms of like relationships.
Yeah.
And it feels good. Like it's so unnecessary to put yourself in a situationship that's ass. Like, I don't know. Like,
for what? Yeah.
Literally for what? Like, so I can feel like shit, like more shit about myself. Like, realizing that there's certain people that I came across that had their own insecurities and their own things about their age or their life and their path that they wanted me to feel bad about my age, my life, my path. And it's like, why?
Like,
why are we doing this to each other? Like, there's just like no point in wasting anyone's time. And like, if someone thinks I'm a waste of time because I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life or this year or tomorrow or fucking next week, I don't know. Like, okay. But if I meet someone and they're like, that's really cool. Like, you have the world available to you, whatever, like options. And they're not like, oh, like, you're not going to have money then. Or like, what, you know, like, you're not my person.
Also, you're more than the things that you do and the places you get your money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's like, also something to accept at this point.
You have like a fucking heart of gold, and I think that is more than enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because I feel like people say on the street, like, it's so hard to find nice girls or whatever.
Well, here we are.
I'm like, well, I'm a nice girl. I just don't have it all figured out. Is that okay?
You're also not figured out, though.
There's a lot I have figured out.
Yeah, there's a lot. Literally, if you think about it, you have like one piece that's not really figured out, and it's like it's not necessarily
the final boss.
Don't have literally the final boss. It's not that you don't have it figured out. It's just like you're trying
to find that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
Dude, I'm telling you, we're doing pottery in September.
Do we have to do something?
It is like, I was kind of thinking, I was like, fall vibes would be kind of cute.
Wait, actually.
But like, it's going to be kind of hot in September still. So maybe we do October.
Oh, October. Sorry. Why did
it has to be
October?
It has to be October because November, December is going to be crazy.
You're right.
It's going to be too busy.
October's perfect, actually.
Let's just buy it. Like, because it's going to come and we're going to be like, no, let's push it another month. No. Keep us accountable. Hit us up and be like, did y'all buy October? Just pound in the DMs. Did y'all get pottery yet? Did y'all get pottery yet?
For real. Anyway, we've literally been saying it for like a year. So
exactly.
I think maybe longer. Anyway.
This needs to be the year.
The year of pottery, 26.
The year of making things.
Yeah. If you are in this age, of 26, here we are. Is this all right?
Let us know what your biggest achievement was up until this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we didn't really do up until this point. We just did 25, but whatever. Tell us whatever you want. Let us know.
Let us know anything.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a little... Ooh, we could do like on Instagram, like a submission. Mm-hmm. And then you guys can tell us.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. But anyways, I think that's the end of this episode. If you just celebrated your 26th birthday, or you've been 26 for a few months like Mel, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. It's almost my half birthday at this point.
Yeah, literally. We're gonna be celebrating half birthdays now.
Absolutely. Fucking live life.
So I'm telling you, so these like events we want to have, we're gonna be celebrating everybody's half birthdays and birthdays, so we each get 2.
I'm gonna be busy.
Yeah, booked and busy. We're celebrating birthdays all year long.
Anyway.
We'll see you guys in glowing hour, but missed you guys. Glad to be back.
Yeah.